Okay, at 6 p.m., I'll call tonight's meeting of the Canandaigua Town Board to order. I will begin tonight's meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, and I will lead us. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mary Jean, can you confirm that the meeting was properly advertised?
Yes, it was.
All right, could you go ahead and call the roll, please?
Certainly. Councilmember John Casey,
I'm here.
Councilmember Terrence Fennelly,
Present.
Councilmember Adeline Rudolph. Present. Councilmember David Sauter,
Present.
Supervisor Jared Simpson.
Present. Thank you very much. I would draw your attention to written communications that are in the binder. There were many more this month that are included, and there's some, I tried to say that with a straight face, but we have many communications this month, several hundred, and there's a link on the town website, and you can have access to those rather than printing them all off and putting them in the binder. They are there. I would like to make note that our town manager is attending via Zoom tonight. So he will be there on the big screen looking down on us. The only problem is he won't be there to unmute people. So Kim, we're gonna have to trust you for that because we cannot trust Mr. Nadler to take care of things like that. Sorry, no offense, no offense. So, yes, there is, we did get a notice, an email notice, and I'm sure many of you heard. Jim Volpe, local developer and local resident for many years, and has many, family members throughout the community. He passed away recently, and we are sorry for that. We extend our condolences to his family. We do have our first privilege of the floor, so I'd like to open the floor for anyone who would like to be heard at this time. Just a reminder, when you speak on the privilege of the floor, you're limited to three minutes, and I will set my timer. And just please state your name and address for the record, and that would be great. Okay, so we have two in, I know of, and probably some more online. So go ahead, Mary.
You want me up here?
Please, so otherwise they can't hear you online.
Okay, I'm better. Marion Cassie, 4735 County Road 16, also known as Westlake Road. I'm here to talk to you about fairness and accuracy. It's going to touch on a little bit of zoning and a little bit of assessment, but bear with me, I'm not here to talk about my assessment, and I'm not here to talk about zoning. I'm appearing before a zoning board tomorrow. There's a property across from me that I'm going to the zoning board to appeal the zoning officer's determination tomorrow. And it is 16.5 acres on County Road 16. And would anybody like to take a guess at what 16.5 acres with a lake view on County Road 16 is worth? Well, right now it's currently assessed at $39,000. And the assessment, when I went up to get the forms and set an appointment for my own assessment today, I asked for the information on this property, which has a dwelling and someone living in it. And I received this information. The property owner is listed as Alfred Perrin. Al Perrin died in 2009, just so that you know that. That's 14 years ago. And I was the assistant assessor, Michelle, handed me this information on this little pink message, and it says 4744 County Road 16 is going to be assessed at $47,000 because it's vacant land. It is not vacant land. It has a house, 3 driveways, and is currently running a trucking company, hauling company out of that property. When I tried to get this straightened out last year, and I contacted Jared and I contacted the assessor, I was told that they would take care of it. The assessor was looking into it. I can show you the email. He said, I'll get back to you. I'm researching it. I'll get back to you. I want you to know that the county has and has always had, since Al's death, his brother Russ Perrin as the owner of the property. the county has the correct information. For some reason, that information did not get to the town. And why is it important? Who owns the property? It's important who owns the property because the property right next to it is owned and has been owned for probably 50 years by deceased Al Perrin, bless his heart, his brother, Russ Perrin. And Russ now owns this because he inherited from Al. It's important because in 2007, this property was assessed at $93,700. And the assessment was fought in 2007 because it was supposedly landlocked.
That's time. So you can come back and speak for on the second time if you'd like to finish your thoughts at the second round. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Can I ask for a couple of clarifications, Chairman?
Not a communication back and forth right now. So
I just wanted detail as to what the lady's address was and what
My
the
address, 4735.
property that you were appealing or going to appeal was 4744
I'm not appealing it with assessment. I'm
with the zoning board.
with the zoning board.
Mhm.
Is, yeah, that's 4744.
4744.
Thank you. That was all I needed.
Okay, thank you. All right, Karen.
You can start the timer now, Jared,
Thanks.
now that I've caught my breath. As you know, I'm chair of the Affordable Housing Team. And as I'm sure you know, the work of this team encouraged the county to explore the need for more data and planning about affordable housing. This has led to the countywide effort by Urban Partners to gather information about housing needs throughout Ontario County. However, tonight, I'm here to tell you that I'm resigning as both chairperson and a member of this team. While I'm excited about having the issue explored over a larger area, I do not feel support from you, the current Canandaigua Town Board. To set a goal of single-family homes affordable housing puts limits on supplying a logical solution to a current need. There's a need in our area for affordable, comfortable apartment-style solutions. In addition, I consistently hear the "not in my backyard" comments from residents. Keep in mind, there are needy individuals and families in every community, and they include the elderly who have contributed much to each community. Perhaps if we in Canandaigua looked on needy individuals and families as neighbors rather than interlopers, we could be successful in achieving a viable long-term solution. While you still list this as one of your goals, in my opinion, you make the goal unattainable by the single-family housing choice. Some of you know me, I am personally guided by my strong belief that adequate housing and potable water are necessities for every living person on our planet. I've not lost my passion for this goal, but I'm going to look for other ways to help achieve affordable housing for all who need it.
Thank you very much. Okay, is there anyone online who would like to be heard at this time? All right, I do not see any hands, but anybody else in the audience like to be heard? All right. So now we're going to go to some priority business. We have some exciting priority business to get to, but before that, I would like to get to birthdays, which I forgot, and Lindsay would yell at me because I got these like 3 days ago. So birthdays for this next period are Sarah Reynolds, Heather Cross, Ron Bement, Mark Tolbert, Brian Van Castle, Kevin Pollock. See, look at this, you're here, you got a birthday, you got a daughter getting an award. Look at that, it's like a win-win. Jim Burke and Courtney Ayton. So a happy birthday to all of those town employees and committee members and volunteers. I do have 2 presentations to give tonight. The first one is not here, so I'm just going to go through this one quickly. There's a space on the town website where you can nominate a town resident if you would like them to receive an award. And we did receive one for Miss Dorothy Densmore. And I don't know if many of you know Dorothy. Dorothy lives over at Ferris Hills, but she was born on a dairy farm in Hilton in 1920. And this year celebrated her 103rd birthday. And she is a resident of the town of Canandaigua. She attended school in a one-room schoolhouse adjoining the family farm, graduated from Spencer Court High School in 1938, Keuka College in 1942, and started teaching during World War II in several school districts in the Southern Tier. She earned her master's degree from Columbia University during her teaching career. And her husband, Don, they lived in Gates. They had 3 children, and her son Craig lives in Victor, and her son Thomas lives in Greece, and her daughter Patricia lives in Florida. So she has children, some in the area and some throughout. She was very active in the centralization of the Gates Chile Central School District and the League of Women Voters. So we have this resolution in honor of Dorothy Densmore, and we will be delivering that to her this week. But it's not often, and it's pretty great, accomplishment, the things that she did, but also reaching that 103rd birthday milestone. Let us all be so lucky. So that is for Dorothy. Now we do have a special guest, and I would like to recognize as well Superintendent Jamie Farr from the Canandaigua City School District. He is here as part of this, but if I could have Sophie come up here, I just want to embarrass her for a minute. So come on up, Sophie. I had Sophie in class when she was a 7th grader, so. No, I'm not afraid. You can stand here right next to me. So back when Sophie was in 7th grade, she, other than loving social studies and hanging on every word that I said. Do you remember it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, see, she confirmed it. Oh, yeah, she confirmed it. She hung on every word that I said. Sophie was very passionate about wrestling in the Canandaigua community. It was her passion, still is her passion. And she's been very instrumental in bringing girls wrestling to Canandaigua and also to New York State. So I just want to read a few of these things. These should all be true. Because Coach Mullen and Mrs. Chapman sent some of this information in. Sophie made history in January 2023 by winning the first annual New York State Public High School Athletic Association Girls State Wrestling Invitational. Sophie has dedicated the last few years of her life to the sport of wrestling and was a founding member of the first official girls wrestling team, both at Canandaigua Academy and all of Section 5. Sophie's leadership, through her leadership, Canandaigua Academy's team doubled in size this past year. She is a mentor to her teammates and a leader in her sport, and that came from Coach Mullen. Sophie is a recipient of the United States Army Reserve National Scholar Athlete Award, is a 2-time All-American, placing in the top 8 at nationals, and is currently ranked in the top 10 in the country. Sophie closed her season with a record of 16-0 with 16 pins. Academics are also very important for Sophie. She has been on the honor roll through her 4 years of high school. She plans to attend Delaware Valley University next fall to major in agricultural science and wrestle at the collegiate level. Eventually, she'd like to come back to coach girls wrestling at Canandaigua and continue to lead young women in the sport. Okay, remember that. Okay, put that down. So, and Sophie's accomplishments were recently honored in the New York State Senate by our very own Senator Pam Helming. So at this time, I would just like to give this proclamation to Sophie and let her know that you do our town proud, you do your parents proud, you do the community proud, and thank you so much for your hard work. Okay. All right, Mom and Dad, you want to come up? Mr. Farr, you want to come up? Mr. Chapman got in the other one, you can get in this one.
She's not just a town clerk.
Yeah.
I'd just like to point out that our town clerk is not just a town clerk, she's also a photographer.
She's also an amazing photographer as well. All right, so now, I know. So now we're gonna get to some of the boring parts. You guys are free to go if you want, so you can make a graceful exit and don't have to feel like you're sneaking out. It's up to you. I would, yeah. It could be a couple,
Very welcome to stay.
it could be, yeah,
Be stoic.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, it could be a couple hours.
Thanks for coming.
No,
It's a quarter for every time I get somebody.
It's a joke. That's between the two of us.
take care.
I know, I'm like, I don't know. Why don't you give it
Okay.
to Chris for approval?
The wheels are running. Okay, we are going off the rails right now. Okay, so I'll bring it back to order. We do not have any public hearings at this time. We do not have any new or continued public hearings, so now we'll go to reports of town and officials and department heads. All right, Jim.
I send my report to board this time, so.
All right, thank you. I do not see Paul. I do not see Paul. Yes, Leaf.
Supervisor,
Yes, sir.
we're under assessor. Based on my conversations with some town board members and as municipal attorney, I think I'm gonna, unless I hear a strenuous objection, I'll look into the allegations raised earlier by Marion. I'll call the supervisor, the assessor in the morning and get to the bottom of it and report back to the board.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Maybe reach out to county as well to see the discrepancy
Yeah,
in the records.
yeah, and I'm
Those two.
hoping
Okay.
that it's a mistake and that I can give you an explanation.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chris.
Also fix it. Yes, also. fix it.
Secondarily.
Okay. All right.
Just a couple of quick things.
There, you're gonna have to come up here so they can hear you. I know I've never told you you have to be louder before. Sorry about that.
Just a couple of quick notes for you and the town board from the history team. We're researching a historic plaque for the Butler Road School. Just so that folks driving by will know what that structure was and why it was there. We're also, our team that has been working at Academy Cemetery, which is Richard and Donna West primarily, I mean, that pretty much is the team, have started hanging row marker signs on the fence, and the brochure is nearly done so that anybody that's researching family members that may be interred in that cemetery will find it very easy. Technology is going to be folded into that too, with a QR code so people can pull up a map. And I'm working with Lindsay's department. We're kind of exploring some other ideas for possibly like a little kiosk that would be at the cemetery where people could look at a map if they didn't have one with them or didn't have a phone to get on a QR code. So just some good things happening there. The reconnaissance survey, the board may remember that Barrow Associates had been contracted to essentially do an inventory of all the historic properties that they felt were important to the town. And that's it's a very lengthy process. It's not really exciting. So if you're sitting here thinking, oh boy, we could look up all these great old properties, it's really more of a data tool. There will be some kind of rudimentary information online about those historic properties, you know, roughly when the property was built, and very small snippets of the history, and along with some photographs. And those are going on a state site. That process got slowed down. Landmark Society is doing it right now, and we're still awaiting results. And Sarah Linda Hooker has been the lead on that, as she was on the first leg of that whole process a couple of years ago. But the grant that the town had applied for is being wisely spent, and it's being watched carefully. And I think we can expect Landmark to turn over a product for the town that will be very useful to the planning department, to the board, and to others. So that's probably all I have for now. There's nothing, that's the nice thing about history. There's nothing ever pressing.
Yeah, I mean,
So thank you for your time, and
all right,
turn it over to the next.
thanks. All right, thank you so much. Jean, do you have anything in addition to report?
I do. Just wanted to let the town board know that my office received notification last Friday afternoon that our cleaning service that we currently have is opting out of their contract. So I just wanted to let you know that an RFP was sent out today on our New York contractor reporting website, or website that we're part of. I also put it on Facebook and they're on our website. So hopefully we get some responses fairly quickly. I tried to make it as detailed as I could to include square footages, number of bathrooms, kitchens. So that way it reduces the number of phone calls and questions that we got. But I just wanted to let you know you'll be having a resolution hopefully in May
Okay.
to hire a new janitorial service.
Thank you. Effective.
I said May 5th. She said 2 to 3 weeks, so I took 3. So
Good. Okay. All right. Yeah, as long as we can. Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Shauna, do you have anything to report at this time?
I don't have anything to report other than this is my last town board meeting. So thank you all for everything. And then we are having a great time in Saratoga representing the town.
Wait,
Yeah.
you're what? No, sorry. Thank you for all your time, your service to the town and your time, and we look forward to hearing great things from you at the city, but not too great as long as if we're competing. We don't want it to be that great, but if it's separate things, knock your socks out.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
Okay, thanks. Lindsay, do you have anything at this time?
Oh, hi guys. I do just wanted to give you guys an update. I did hear that 2 of our contractors are able to start work on the Motion Junction Pavilion. So that's starting this week. So just to give everyone a heads up, the playground will be closed until mid to late summer. We are going to provide updates on that as we hear more. And I mean, there's a lot of contractors that are involved. So as long as everything goes smooth, but that will all be updated on our website and on our Google page. So that way, if people are researching Motion Junction, they have visibility to what's going on in the park and when it's going to reopen. So just to keep everyone informed.
Okay, thank you so much. That's very exciting. Looking forward to those changes. Town Manager Doug, anything? Oh, hold on, you just got remuted.
Oops, sorry. Oh, he's still muted.
You're gonna have to unmute
You
yourself.
have to unmute yourself now, Doug.
I can unmute myself. So anyway, okay. So a couple things. So Shauna announced, it's her last meeting. I also want to thank Chris Jensen for all of his service these last 9 years to the town residents of the town of Canandaigua. On behalf of the town of Canandaigua, Chris Jensen is no longer with us. He has now left for a great opportunity with the state of New York in the New York State Department of State. I want to share with you, it's been phenomenal here in Saratoga at the New York Planning Federation. The support that is being materialized for the town of Canandaigua's Uptown Form-Based Code. And I've had 2 sessions today where the town of Canandaigua Uptown Form-Based Code is used as an example as a state model. And I just walked into one this afternoon, completely unexpected, where they were doing a whole presentation on the town of Canandaigua's Uptown Form-Based Code. So it's really humbling, and it's a kudos to all of our residents and all of our citizens groups and all of the people that have worked so hard to put all that together. And Supervisor, I really want to thank you for coming to accept the award. It's my understanding a plaque is going to be sent to us, that today's ceremony just They handed some certificates out because they didn't have the plaques yet, supply chain issues or whatever. I mean, you can blame that on anything, I guess, these days. But but those are coming, and that was very, very special, and very appreciative of you to take the time to do that. So thank you.
All right, so that's a great lead in. So I'm glad that that Mr. Finch mentioned that we had a plaque coming, because I'm not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed driving 3.5 hours each way to get this little piece of paper. So the Pomeroy Award for Zoning Achievement, as Doug and I were sitting there during lunch today, and he was explaining to me, the applications for this were all brand new form-based code municipalities, brand new applications, rolling them out, really good quality, highly competitive. And ours came in the best, and ours received that award for zoning and the planning achievement and forward-looking nature of all of that. And I would like to thank, as I said earlier, I'd like to thank Doug. I'd like to thank Shauna. I don't see Sarah. I think I forgot to mention Lindsay earlier at the thing, but as part of it, as well as part of that staff that helped working through, through all this. I'm sure Kim had something to do with it too, but all of our staff who helped us through the process to put this into play. It was a multi-year process, many steps along the way. And it's something that will continue to reap dividends for the next 10 or 15 years. And I just want to thank everybody for that.
Can I say something?
Mhm.
I'd like to also just thank the Economic Development Committee who helped to create the form-based code area as well. So
Yes, so, and we're different because we have a unique area for form-based code, which I think it keeps the nature of the town, which is a very special, it's very unique and forward-looking for that. A couple other items that I would like to mention for my report. The financial reports are included in the agenda packet for your reference. And I'll take any questions if you have those. But as I referenced a few emails and phone messages that we received in the last month or so, we had a visit from a gentleman who calls himself part of Erie County Auditors. Long story short, they try to make things difficult for towns and municipalities. They try to make people uncomfortable. And they put on Facebook their interactions at town hall, which elicited thousands of views and not thousands, but hundreds of emails and hundreds of phone calls. Many of them got nastier and nastier and nastier as time went on. So I would like to personally thank all the town staff for putting up with that. I would like to thank Jean for her leadership through that and being the source of wisdom and making the right choices. There's one message in particular that I got from a resident of Geneva. The only local one that I received. I got calls from people all over the place and people telling me to do some very unique things. But the resident from Geneva, he said, I really believe in open government and it's highly important, but this was out of line and I fully support and thank you for the decision that you made as a town board to deny the request. And we were supported in that request by our attorney, by the New York State Committee on Open Government. And I just, again, we're moving away from that. And I want to thank everybody for helping us through that time. Because for a few days, it was quite challenging. Not very much else got done other than transferring phone calls and wondering if the phone you were going to answer, if it was a legitimate phone call or if it was somebody just calling to berate you and belittle you. So it was a very difficult few days. And then the next thing, I wasn't going to speak to this, but I do want to make a comment about the assessment letters that went out and clarify. I did put in a quite lengthy article in the April newsletter about assessments and about how they're calculated and about what that has to do with tax rates and the control the town board has over that. If you didn't read that, I would strongly encourage you to read that because it was quite detailed. As a town board, we have no control. The assessor sets the assessment, and New York State only looks at the assessor's signature is someone who can approve those. So it would be illegal and inappropriate for us to have any communication with the assessor over assessments. That said, we do have control over the tax rates, and with the assessments changing, the tax rates will most likely change in accordance with how the assessments change. Because at the end of the day, there's only a limited amount of money that we need to levy on the taxpayers, and that's spread out through the entire assessed value of the town of Canandaigua. So I would encourage anyone, if you have questions about your assessments, make an appointment, visit with the assessor, talk to Paul, talk to Michelle. They're very welcoming. They're very willing to talk. That's part of the process. At the end of the day, if you have questions about the tax rate, we're the ones that you talk to on that, because we're the ones who have control over that tax rate. Okay. All right.
Mr. Supervisor.
Yes.
It dawns on me. Talking to the supervisor and talking to the assistant supervisors, by far the most efficient.
Assessor.
Assessor, thank you.
Mhm.
That's not take away from every taxpayer's right to challenge their assessment through the grievance process or through an Article 7 or a small claims assessment review proceeding, which the assessor and his assistant can give you information.
Thank you. All right. Finance Committee.
Yes, we met last week and went through the agenda and all the finance related items in the agenda. I'm going to bring up a couple of adjustments to the finance policy as that comes up a little bit later here. And on the 27th, we will be meeting again to discuss both community choice aggregation and also Town Manager Finch is doing a breakdown on our capital project funding on that date as well.
Okay, thank you. Terry, Planning Public Works.
We have several resolutions on the agenda tonight. Are endorsed by the Public Works Committee. Headline referred to the community choice aggregation. We'll be meeting on the 27th to review the proposal that cost proposal that's supposed to be developed or delivered this Thursday, the 20th. They have an RFP out for the aggregate electric cost. Couple of other things. The County Road 28 sewer question. There are some comments from the county that are going to be answered by MRB over the next few weeks. Hopefully by the time we have another meeting, county will have been satisfied. We can start plotting our course forward, how we address it, how we move forward with that. So Jim in his report talked about the electroscan. Going to be looking at the ACP pipe in 4 or 5 locations in the town to look at the quality of the pipe. The technology that's recently been developed. Put a probe down inside the pipe and look at for any breaks, any degradation in the pipe. We have about 50 miles of asbestos concrete pipe in town. We have no idea other than digging it up, what shape it's in. So this testing will hopefully give us some kind of feeling for the value of that technology, whether we want to look at other areas. But that'll be being developed over the next couple of months. Probably take that long to get a final report from us. So that's pretty much it. There's a few other items that will be coming up in the future in terms of resolution. But okay, we can get into them tonight.
All right, thank you very much. Dave, any updates? Economic development should be kicking off the ground pretty soon.
Yes.
With our update, with our uptown organization.
You always pass me up.
Good. You know why? Because Terry gives such a thorough report that I accidentally check you off in the middle of Terry's report. It's nothing personal.
No offense
Ordinance, Mr. Casey.
Thank you, Mr.
Two
Supervisor.
balls headed.
Yeah.
Very briefly, I just wanted to thank our committee, thank the community, and thank the businesses that participated in our development of the short-term rental ordinance. We tried very hard, worked on this for probably 5 or more months. It's probably the most difficult ordinance that I've been involved with in my 5+ years on the ordinance committee. We wanted to come up with something that was fair and reasonable to everyone concerned, and we did not want this to be a money-making item. So we have submitted a modification to the fee schedule to the town board for consideration. We wanted this to be a nominal fee that would only cover our costs and keep it reasonable for the small mom and pop short-term rentals as well as the larger ones. And we also finally developed that ordinance, which we submitted to the town board for their consideration. So I just wanted to express that gratitude to everyone and say thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
That's done.
And I apologize for skipping you again.
No offense taken.
All right, planning board, Mr. Euler.
Good evening, everyone. I have really nothing to add, Mr. Chairman, except the planning board is looking forward to implementing the award-winning form-based code as comes. So we look forward to being part of the implementation of that piece of legislation.
All right, thank you. You're probably going to have some visitors to your meetings too to see how you implement it, so get ready.
Hey, need all the help we can get.
Right. ZBA, I do not see Mr. Euler. Kim, anything from the ECB?
No.
Okay, see,
I'm
I
sorry.
put you on the spot. That's
She's
okay.
got so much going
on.
You're trying to keep track of what of all that, keep everybody working. Sorry for putting you on the spot.
I'd be happy to come another time.
Do we know when we're getting the schedule?
That should roll out in for our
Next month.
May meeting or in April. I drew a blank for a second. Dave, do you want to report for the few committees that you were going to report on?
Sure. For the CIC, we went on a walking tour of the uptown, half of the uptown, kind of the southern half of the uptown, up one sidewalk and down the other, just to get a look at some of the buildings, the sidewalks, how we could enhance it coming along there. We're gonna finish up. Kim took some great pictures of it. So of our tour, we are going to take a second half of that on the northern side of that, just to take a look. Anyone's invited. Kim, would you say that would like to come? So
Yes.
it was very, very fruitful event. Of course, it was 80 some degrees out, so it was
Yeah, it's always nicer when it's a little warmer.
yeah, that's for sure.
That's why there's so much talking going on.
Yeah.
And you had to keep track of all that.
There was a lot of talk.
It was a lot of time.
And the Ag Committee is planning an Ag Day in the park, essentially. So they're going to try to work in conjunction with the Parks Committee on their movie night on August 18th. So they're going to try to display some equipment, have some different scenarios of what agricultural means to the town of Canandaigua and Ontario County, but some of the challenges we all face along the roads with driving behind equipment. There's a number of good things that are coming from them, and they're doing good things. The Parks Committee, I got an email from Mark, the chair. He sorry couldn't make it. He said they discuss options for the digital kiosk at Outhouse Park. Lindsay shared some design ideas. We are looking at additional options that would bring the sign more in line with the recently installed town of Canandaigua signs designed by the signage committee. And Mark came up with a really nice design on that. I don't know if Lindsay, if you saw that Mark sent out or not, but really, really nice looking, kind of very much in that country scene above the signs that we have. Lindsay is also working to coordinate volunteers for a park cleanup day in May. Lindsay also provided an overview of the summer recreation program, which has started with the YMCA. Early reports are lots of interest and spots are filling quickly. They discussed the status of the MRV Uplands plan and are waiting on possible meeting dates for when the updated plan will be presented to the town for their review. They're looking at expanding park bench scholars sponsorships to include possibly town cemeteries. I see Karen's online, so maybe that is something that they have information on as well. They're planning their annual concerts on July 12th and August 9th. And then again, the movie night will be on August 18th. 2 different bands this year, and then same number of food trucks and things like that. It should be a nice event for everyone to get those dates on your calendar. They also recommended Jamie Anderson to replace myself as the new member on the Parks and Recreation Committee and have passed that recommendation on to the board for their approval. Next meeting is April 26th at Westlake Schoolhouse Park, 6 p.m.
Okay.
Submitted by Mark McNeil.
All right, thank you so much. Karen, do you have anything for cemetery?
We haven't officially met yet this year, but we're setting up the history team and the cemetery committee to meet back and back because their work is similar. And some of the members cross over. One big thing we're looking into is wreaths across America. Hopefully our community can join in that. And yes, we want to start working on cemetery benches, possibly as memorials to someone, some family for that purpose. That's it for now.
All right, thank you. All right, that brings us to our next privilege of the floor. Okay, got a feeling, Marion, I'd see your hand.
I just, because 3 minutes is short, I just wanted to add a couple of things. The property belongs to Russell Perrin. Russ and I have always gotten along great. He's mowed my lawns for me, and in return, he wouldn't take any money, so I make him zucchini bread. That's not the problem. He's got his grandson in the property, running basically a trucking hauling business out of that property, which is why I'm going to zoning to appeal tomorrow. But I had a talk with Adeline earlier today, and she said, you know, she understood that they couldn't change the, first, let me tell you that Russ is 87 and in tough shape. Okay. So she said they couldn't change the property owner unless they got the information directly from the property owner. Well, that's not going to happen. However, for the zoning issue, they have identified the property owner as Russ Perrin. For mailing address, for all of the zoning issue and everything else, they have identified and send all of the information to Russ Perrin at his address on Wells Curtis. So they know very well that the property belongs to Russ Perrin. I also know for a fact that about 2 years ago, he was offered over $300,000 for this property that's now going to be assessed for $47,000 and refused the offer. So there's a definite problem with equity and fairness and accuracy with this property. You don't have 16 and a half acres on County Road 16 worth $39,000 or now $47,000. So I wanted to bring that up. Chris, I hope you can get this straightened out. I appreciate you looking into it.
Sending an email to the assessor.
Okay, well, I did that last June, also the county assessor. So, you know, they've had the information, just nobody ever got back to me about it. And it needs to get taken care of because it's just not fair. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Karen.
So you have all just listened to some lies. And Russell Perrin is my partner. He has severe dementia. I'm his power of attorney. The property that this person is talking about is landlocked. It has absolutely no road frontage. The road frontage is all owned by Sarah Linda Hooker, whom we all know. The other parcel that Russ has owned for years has the only driveway that goes to that parcel. It is not included on the property that we're talking about. Al Perrin died 12 years ago. The estate was settled about 10 years ago. The county has had his name on the Encore website for that period of time. I don't know why it isn't on the town's website. If you let me know, I can have our attorney take care of that. There is no business going on down there. This young man owns a truck that he keeps by where he lives. And, you know, I'm tired of this. We went through this last year. There was a whole series of things that we had to go through with complaints about this with Chris Jensen. We met with Chris Jensen several times. There was a decision made, and I know that that decision now is being challenged. So I just want to get it straight. This property, the assessment was lowered, I think 20 years ago, because, or well, no, it was after Al died, because it was realized that the property was landlocked. So for the period of time that Al had that property, which was a 20-year period of time, he was paying taxes on Sarah Linda Hooker's property also. So, you know, they lowered it because it does not have value. As far as being offered $300,000, I have to get you, I might have a heart attack here. The person who offered this thought that Russ owned all that road frontage also, and probably still does not know that the road frontage is not owned by that, with that parcel. So, and just for a side, I have looked into a conservation easement on that property too, because it's a piece of property that owns half of Menteith Creek and half of the waterfall. So you do what you want with it. You know, it's just, but I wanted to straighten this out, that the story is not as it's being told. And I will be at the meeting tomorrow night.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yvonne?
Yvonne Chavez, Middle Cheshire Road. Since the topic was brought up, I just wanted to mention that I came in the day after you had a visitor. And I just want to express my pride and gratitude to the staff, to the elected officials, to the town manager for the way they handled the guest. And I have to add, I don't know technology. Maybe somebody can, when I sit down, explain it, that every time that link is hit, somebody makes money. Is that correct? If somebody could bring that up. I went once, so I can't really comment on it. You know, I wanted to go back and study it a little bit better, but from a one-time view and the letters, it appeared that one person was the target, and that was our town clerk, Jean Chrisman. And the things that were said about her, in my unprofessional opinion, was a targeted character assassination. And the way all of you handled it was just unbelievable. I wanted to thank you. I'm proud of all of you, and I'm so grateful to be a town resident. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Anyone else like to be heard at this time? I'm squinting because I'm looking at the screen. Trying to read all those little tiny names up there. All right, I think we're good.
Chuck's up there twice.
What's that? Yes, thank you very much. I forgot. Thank you for reminding me, Jean. One item that I forgot in my business with my town manager's report, effective from tonight for the remainder of the year, I am renaming Doug Finch, town manager, the budget officer. So he will be working as budget officer for the remainder of the year. So thank you for reminding me about that.
And you just did that?
And I just did that. It's now pursuant to town law. I'm making that naming of Doug. Do I have to say it do I have to say it again? Okay.
We got it.
I didn't see type.
Okay. All right, now on to motions, motions and resolutions. Give me a second while I get to the page. Okay, resolution number 95, acceptance of the monthly financial reports.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Resolution number 96, acknowledgement and authorization of budget transfers by the town manager.
So moved.
Second. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Resolution 97, budget transfer authorization. Assuming there might be some discussion on this after we open it.
So moved.
Okay. Okay, Jim, do you want to just explain real quick?
I wasn't following which truck, or which one we got.
It's
I'm
your
sorry.
truck
It's-
that's,
okay.
you're getting now.
It's our
One
encumbered,
incoming.
unencumbered truck.
In 2021, the town board authorized me to order a truck knowing that COVID was going on. And it took a long time to get equipment. So in 2022, we encumbered the money. The truck did not come in 22. So the money from 22 went into unaccounted fund balance in the day fund for the highway. Then when the truck came in, which was just a few weeks ago, I wrote a resolution to expand the unaccounted fund balance from the highway fund to go back into the 513200 account of the highway fund to purchase the new plow truck that took 22 months for us to get.
Okay, any further? All right.
Great job, Jim.
You followed that, you got a star? All right, thank you. All in favor? Opposed? Carries. Resolution 98, authorization for town manager to execute health insurance services for the 23-24 renewal cycle.
So moved.
Second. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Resolution 99, adoption of the town of Canandaigua fiscal operations policy.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Yes, I have a number of small corrections that we discussed in our finance committee meeting. I apologize, we were hoping to have a red line of this tonight, but.
So we'll have to amend and
we'll
then
have
vote
to
on the
kind of
amended
amend
one.
it. Kim,
You don't think
could
so?
you possibly?
No, not if they're just, not if they're typographical errors, we don't. But you can definitely go over them.
Okay, so why don't you go over those?
Can you pull it
Yeah, and
up?
we did mark them, but
It's attachment 6. It's about 40 pages in. Yeah. Well, maybe not
Kim,
both.
it's page 358 is the start of the fiscal operations policy.
Well, I don't have all those in mind, so that would be why. It's right after these guys, Kim. Oh, go earlier,
going up.
we're on 9,
Yeah.
attachment 6, so much earlier. You getting there? Oh, there you go.
Right there.
Yep, that's it.
Yep.
right there.
mhm.
Probably. So the first change is just underneath town supervisor. It indicates chief fiscal officer and currently says within 10 days after receipt shall deposit and secure in his name as supervisor. We'll be changing that to shall deposit and secure in his or her name as supervisor. The next one also underneath the town supervisor roles. It indicates supervisor receipt of taxes. I believe we agreed to change that to supervisor of receipt of taxes.
Sorry, where is that?
Second
It's
page.
the second page of it, 1, 2, 3rd bullet
Right
down.
behind treasurer.
Still under
Supervisor.
town supervisor.
Still under town supervisor.
Supervisor receipt of tax.
Correct.
Supervisor.
Supervisor
of.
of receipt of
So
taxes.
2 obs in there.
Oh,
The next one would be the next page where it indicates receiver of taxes above the budget development guidelines there. I'm not sure if we were figuring out the local.
If I could make a suggestion on that one, actually, just to keep it simple, you could strike the section that says pursuant to Town of Canandaigua law of the year 2013 relative to that, and then you can just set, that way it would read, receiver of taxes as a town of first class. The town board of the town of Canandaigua abolished the elected position known as receiver of taxes, and it would take care of that.
Great. Okay, and then I did catch one more typo, bottom of the same page under revenue projections. It indicates all revenue projections or estimates shall be conservative in natures based on. I think we need to change that to shall be conservative in nature based on historical data and known forecasts. And then the last page. This one was, this is town board member Fennelly caught this one under additional policies. It currently says the town board of the town of Canandaigua has given direction to certainly town officials. We're gonna change that to certain town officials. And I believe that's it, unless I missed something.
All right. Do you have all those, Mr. Nadler?
Yes. sure.
Okay, so we can, we do not need to vote on this as amended since those did not change the sum and substance of the resolution. So without further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, resolution carries. Resolution number 100, petty cash for parks and recreation. Second. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Resolution number 101, amendments to the 2023 fee schedule.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Did we add the line about roofs in this yet?
Yes, she
It
sent
is.
it out.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Okay, any other discussion?
Does this include the fee for short-term rentals?
No, it does
Not
not.
yet.
I believe it was discussed that we were gonna do that at the main meeting along with adopting the local law.
Okay,
Yes.
all right, thank you. Okay, any other? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Resolution 102, authorized purchase of a new tandem axle truck with snowplow equipment.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on this truck?
Hopefully it gets here for the end of 25.
Okay. This is not 2 snowplows in 1 year. This is
Just looks like.
snowplow 2 years ago and snowplow 2 years from now.
From now,
Okay.
yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Crazy world we live in. Resolution 103, authorized purchase of Aero Gold GPS equipment and accessories.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Resolution number 104, approving the agreement with Electroscan Incorporated for inspection of the Canandaigua Consolidated Water District water main.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any more discussion? That discussed earlier. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Resolution number 105, accepting the proposal from MRB Group for the GIS system update and copper and lead service line inventory.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I think there should be some mention that this is a mandate from the state. And,
Actually, from the federal government.
Federal.
EPA.
okay, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
For the, yes, for the mandatory.
Maybe slight explanation of the.
Yeah.
Can you just give the
So,
50,000 foot?
Yeah. Well, the town, not only the town, every municipality in the 50 United States has to do a lead and copper inventory of their water district. It doesn't stop at the curb stop, it stops inside the house. Okay, so we, yes, lead and copper. So the long and the short of it is we have to inventory every house, what they have for plumbing, what they have for service. And if they fall in the area of potential lead and copper, when I reason I say copper is because from 87 to 94, there was lead inside. So we have to inventory these homes. And once this list is inventoried, we then will turn it back to the Department of Health. Once that's done, as a town, we will have to notify a resident who we confirm has a lead and copper violation each year. And eventually, at the end of the day, when you go to sell your house, if something isn't up to code, just like you have to repair before you sold it. If your house didn't have the abatement of lead and copper, you had to do it before you sell a house.
It's not really getting rid of copper plumbing in the house.
No.
It's the copper joints were soldered with a lead.
It was a lead solder.
Up until 1987.
And if it's leaching out,
And
I
if
mean,
it's-
that's the issue.
So from 87 on, those houses don't have to be
Correct.
examined or whatever. That's everything prior to 87.
So there's a lot of work to do. So to get this done.
Do you have to go in houses that are before 1987 to get samples of water to test? Or what?
We're not testing the water, we're looking at their plumbing inside their home. We're looking for, say, galvanized piping. Because some galvanized piping had a lead sleeve in it to keep it from corroding. So we have to document that. You have to take photos. And it's a quite extensive spreadsheet of all the data that's required at each location. So it's gonna take a little while.
Superintendent Fletcher, when do you anticipate beginning this process?
I would say fall, only because it's gonna take MRB a while to gather all the data that we need before we even start. Even though we have, okay, what I mean by that is, we have a spreadsheet, what we don't have is the home, the year is built, potential building construction, and we also have to get in the home. So,
Just eliminate like the houses. built in the last
yeah, you
20
can
years.
take like a block of, I'll just use Morel's development that we know was built prior, after. It's the ones, as Terry said, there's that 87 through 94, and then perhaps along the lake, not to have concern, I'm just curious how many galvanized lines are still being used. Because homes at one time did pull from the lake to get water in their house, so. You know, those are things you have to look at.
Do you anticipate needing additional staff for this?
Yes, yeah, we'll have to talk about that at budget time.
So of this, of that 37, just to help edify for the record. So we're contracting with MRB 37.9, they're not to exceed. How much of this is coming back as reimbursed? From the feds? From the
None.
mandates?
Zero.
None, okay.
None.
So this.
From anybody, the state, from anybody?
Okay, so this is coming down from the feds to the local governments. It's a mandate that we have to pay for fully on our own.
They should have a word.
Okay,
Unfunded.
Unfunded
Yeah.
mandates.
okay.
And what do you
All right.
suppose the Fed will do once they're in possession of that information? Just sit on it? Or will they perhaps say, gee, you gotta fix it?
So a lot of
Thank you, Jim.
unknowns, a lot of expense and unknowns going forward, but it's something that we have to roll. with. Something we have to deal with. Thank you for your leadership putting that, leading us down this road. All right, or down this pipe, I guess, not down a road, but down these pipes.
Drain?
Down the drains. All right, any further discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Resolution number 106, accepting the proposal from MRB Group for the professional services for design of sidewalks along North Road and authorization for the town manager to execute the agreement.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Resolution number 107, accepting the proposal from MRB Group for professional services for the design of Outhouse Road with complete streets and authorization for the town manager to execute agreement.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I'm excited that we can begin to fundraise from our capital project for complete streets.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. You were a little late with your eye on that one. I was worried that you're going to change your mind.
I would not change my mind.
Resolution 108, Town of Canandaigua Transfer Station Facility Project, seeker lead agency and determination of significance.
So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
Trying to spread it out.
I know. Resolution 109, setting a public hearing to adopt a local law to amend the town code, chapter 174, subsection 19, subdivision of land, lot size and arrangement, and seeker intent to declare lead agency.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Resolution 110, setting a public hearing to adopt a local law to amend the town code, chapter 220, subsection 9, part 1, short-term rentals and seeker intent to declare lead agency.
Motion. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Resolution 111, authorization to proceed with mixed-use zoning referral to the planning board for advisory report. Moved and seconded. I think Dave had a second on that one. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Resolution 112, acknowledging the 2022 annual court report.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Resolution 113, accepting the resignation of code enforcement officer.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? I would like to thank, Chris isn't here, but thank him for his service and the knowledge that he brought to the table, both with code enforcement, with water quality, with stormwater management. For all of that, he had a lot of knowledge that he brought to the table, and they'll be hard shoes to fill. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Resolution number 114, accepting the resignation of the town planner.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
What if we say no?
Yeah.
I
Can't
tried
wait.
that before, it didn't work last
Can we say no? You can do both. It was just, yeah, just the laugh.
She's not even gonna. say
She's not
that.
even though you're unmuted, you're not gonna make any noise. I know, you're. All right, well, again, thank you, Shauna, for everything.
Thank you all.
You're not going too far away. We know where to find
No.
you. We know where to find you.
You do.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution carries. Resolution 115, accepting the resignation of motor equipment operator Light.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Resolution 116, accepting the resignation of part-time clerk.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carries. Resolution 117, accepting the resignation of planning and zoning board secretary.
So moved.
Second. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Resolution 118, appointment of code enforcement officer.
Second. Give it to Jim.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Resolution 119, appointment of part-time planner.
Motion.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any discussion? And I would like to say to this that Doug is not changing positions. He's just taking on some extra responsibility to get us through a few bumps in the road. And I want to thank him for doing that. And more importantly, thank his wife for that, because that's where the brunt of a lot of the time and everything else is. So all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Resolution 120, appointment of seasonal parks laborers.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Resolution number 121, we're gonna pull. And the reason being is that we are setting up as a town board, we've decided we'd like to be more involved with the appointments to planning board, zoning board. So we have two names that are gonna come in front of us, and we're gonna have a special meeting next Monday. There will be a special board meeting next Monday to discuss a few other items, and I'll get to those at the very end. And they are, the agenda, they are already posted online, so it shouldn't be new news to anyone. But we will be interviewing those candidates during that time, so we can get to know them as a board before we, so they're more than just a name on the agenda for those positions there. So nothing against, yeah, I'm drawing a blank. I'm wishing with Mr. Schneider on this one. Nothing against him, so there are no concerns. It's just that we want to have the chance to talk to him as a group before making that appointment. So that one will be pulled at this time. Resolution 122, appointment of Parks and Recreation Committee member. So moved. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? I would like to add that that Jamie, Mr. Anderson's amazing. If there's anybody that loves the outdoors, oh my goodness, and parks and recreation, and he's gonna be a fantastic addition to that team. It's gonna be wonderful. All right, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carries. Resolution 123, authorizing the town manager to hire for full-time clerk for the highway department.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Carries. Resolution 124, authorizing the town manager to create additional lifeguard positions. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Resolution 125, authorization to allocate unassigned fund balance to capital projects, 838 complete streets and H39 highway road improvements.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? And the amounts are there, and it's a chance for us to fund some projects and get some of this work off the ground that we have been looking at doing, and having creating the projects and the funding and the budget for those that work. So that's very exciting. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Resolution 126, accepting the winter maintenance agreement between the town of Canandaigua and the town of Hopewell, and authorizing the highway superintendent to execute the agreement.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carries. All right. Can I get a motion to approve the meeting minutes from March 20th and March 28th?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Minutes are approved. Jean, could you go through and read through the bills, please? Or
Yes.
Crystal and whoever's reading through them.
Yep. Special abstract dated March 22nd, 2023, totaling $5,000, and that was for the general fund. Utility abstract dated March 24th, 2023, of $57,908.93. And that was a general fund of $38,478.74. Highway fund of $176.79. Water districts of $19,253.40. Town board abstract dated March 17th. Is it supposed to be April 17th?
April 17th. We have April 17th in ours.
Okay, thank you. Totaling $600,003.09. General fund of $125,817.63. Highway fund of $370,510.78. Capital projects of $36,760.89. Lighting districts of $1,350.80. And water districts of $65,562.99.
Thank you very much. Can I get a motion to approve the bills?
So moved.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, bills are paid. do not have any other business at this time. We do have one final privilege of the floor.
Mr. Supervisor?
Yes, sir.
Quick question.
Yes.
Are we gonna discuss this tonight? I got this in the mail today.
Is that?
That familiar? Yes, it.
Yeah, I will be requesting an executive session to discuss
Thank
that
you.
for the sale and lease
Thank
of real property. Mr. Brewer,
Arbor Day activity on the 28th at 10 o'clock at Richard Outhouse Park. We'll be planting a couple of trees near the building. We'll be the guest speaker.
I'll be the guest speaker.
28th or
28th.
29th?
20, what's the Friday? What's the last Friday? 28th, isn't it?
28th.
So it's that Friday or that's that Saturday?
It's going to be a Friday.
Friday, the 28th?
Yeah, that's Arbor Day.
That is Arbor Day.
You're
Okay,
also reminding me that the Rotary Club is working in Outhouse Park on Saturday, the 29th, in honor of Arbor Day too. So,
We thought about Saturday.
Yeah.
so
We have it on the official Arbor.
I might have to get a fill-in for that because we will be retrying Susan B. Anthony at the Ontario County Courthouse that day.
She can't get a nice list.
No, but this time,
To dig her up.
no, she will be getting a more positive verdict from the jury at this one.
Jury fixing.
No, because I wrote the script, but we're not gonna get into that. I wrote, it was expunged, but,
No, they tried to and they didn't
well, but
want it to
they,
be.
no, afterward, after the fact, posthumously, quite a while after. So you might have to find, I will be at the courthouse all day with 247 graders rotating through security and everything else.
Bring them down.
We could bring them down. That could be one stop on the walking trip.
Susan B. Anthony had a lot of good ideas. He did three.
Okay, can
All
we
right.
strike that?
Point of order.
The town board is done.
Point of order.
Oh.
You're right. I point of order you, Mr. Nadler. One final privilege of the floor.
One final privilege to the floor. I just wanted to clarify one thing. You may wonder why it's so important to have the particular property that I've got a problem with, have the owner corrected on that. And that is the legal definition of landlocked means that you have to go across another individual's property to get to your property. Russ owns the property in question and he owns the property next to it that has 60 feet of frontage on County Road 16. Besides the obvious that there are driveways and trucks and a house there and all of that, which the assessor's office told me was vacant property. There's a house there that you can see the driveways, but having both those properties means for darn sure it's not landlocked.
Okay, thank you. All right, anyone else in the room or online like to be heard? All right. I am going to, as I mentioned, I am going to be requesting a brief executive session. And I would like, sorry, Lindsay, you don't have anything else to do, so I'm gonna ask if you can, it's not like you're going at, you don't have to worry about kids tonight. So I'm gonna ask for Lindsay, town manager, town attorney, and highway superintendent. Sorry, Jim, to sit on this one. I don't
Like you really wanted to leave.
I don't anticipate any action being made after this.
What is the purpose of the executive session?
I mentioned it earlier, but I'll mention it again, to discuss the sale, lease or acquisition of real property when public discussion could affect value.
Shut it down.
So we're not gonna make any other, you have to leave it open. So you have to,
I can take control of it. I'll take care of it.
okay, so Doug will put
She's
people.
gonna take her hands off of it. and you're gonna-
Doug will put people in the waiting room, and then we'll have everybody else. But again, for those of you who are here, there won't be any action taken afterwards. So can I get a motion to enter executive session?
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Aye. All right.
Dave, did you
You
second
come with
that?
me for a minute. Is there
Yes.
something that the two of, would be helpful for the two of you to chat about the meeting tomorrow?
So, Carl, so I saw, when you were here the first time. All right, Doug. All right, we don't have any business to take care of after the executive session. So we're now in regular session. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Okay, moved and seconded, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting's adjourned.
7:40.
7:40, John and
Here.
Jerry.
So